Hey guys, let's get more news from Miami Heat, but first don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your like. Heat reportedly see one rookie surpassing Dwayne Wade. The Miami Heat were the villains of the league during a 4-year stint of LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh from 2010 to 2014. But since the Big Three of the Heat broke up, the organization has focused on grooming young talents such as Bam Adebayo and Tyler Herro. Speaking of young players, the Heat drafted Jaime Jaquez Jr. using the 18th overall pick in the 2023 NBA Draft. Jaquez has shown early signs of being a future star in the league despite being drafted in the middle of the first round during the 2023 NBA Draft. So much so that many members of the Heat reportedly believe that Jaquez is the best player that the franchise has drafted since Dwayne Wade, per 5 Reasons Sports and Palms Elite on Twitter. Wade was taken as the 5th overall pick in the legendary 2003 NBA Draft. Wade played 15 out of his 16 years in the NBA for the Heat and helped the organization win 3 NBA championships, including the legendary 2006 NBA title. He was also inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame after retiring from the league. So, comparing Wade to Jaquez is undoubtedly a huge statement. Jaquez is currently averaging 8.3 points, 3.2 rebounds, and 2.2 assists per game for the Heat in the 2023-24 NBA season. Sure, these are good numbers for a player averaging just 21.9 minutes per game in his rookie year. But before overhyping him, the organization should allow Jaquez to stay on his natural curve of growth during his rookie season instead of burdening him with additional responsibility. Caleb Martin's return to provide Heat with much-needed depth versus Nets. As the Miami Heat beat the Charlotte Hornets Tuesday night to win their 6th game in a row, more good news is coming their way. The team announced via their X, formerly known as Twitter, account that forward Caleb Martin will be available for tomorrow's game against the Brooklyn Nets. A key reason for the success of the Heat so far this season has been their supporting role players, and Martin is arguably the best out of all of them. If he gets playing time, it would be his first game played in the regular season since the opener against the Detroit Pistons. He's been dealing with a knee injury since the offseason where he also missed most of the preseason. Martin played 20 minutes in the home win to the Pistons, but scored only 2 points on 1-7 shooting. Heat fans know Martin best for being a standout during the regular season, but the world got to know him better during his stellar performance in the team's magical playoff run earlier this year. He would be the scoring threat needed when Miami's main guys ran out of gas. Miami has been on a brutal 4-game road trip, however, they've won every game as they head back home to possibly get revenge on the Nets. Last time these two teams faced off, the Nets cut down the Heat's 16-point lead to win the game at the Kaseya Center. With the Heat playing the best basketball they have all season and Martin coming back, it could prove wonders for the team as they're missing their main scoring threat in Tyler Herro. While they come back home for a game, they have a painful 5-game road trip after. Zach Lavine doesn't deny the latest trade rumors. What does that mean for the 2-time All-Star and the Chicago Bulls? Zach Lavine isn't denying the rumors anymore. For the last 3 years, Lavine has been quick to shut down any talk of a move away from the Chicago Bulls. But a day after a report by The Athletic suggested mutual interest in pursuing a trade, Lavine on Wednesday didn't clear the smoke while speaking with reporters at a shoot-around at the Advocate Center. Lavine did not outright answer whether he requested a trade. But he made it clear that frustration with a lack of winning has reached a new level. The Bulls entered their game against the Orlando Magic on Wednesday at the United Center at 4-7. "My camp talks to the front office all the time," Lavine said. "It's not like we're not in a good relationship or a good talking space. We understand the business of basketball. I do more than most people. People talk. I've been in trade talks for a long time, so I understand the situation, but once news is always broken, it's a big thing. It's not like it will be the first or the last time it's going to happen with my name. As of right now, I'm excited to still put this jersey on and go out here and play, try and get this win tonight. This has been a long time coming." Lavine's name has been tossed into trade conversations throughout the last 3 seasons as the Bulls struggled and stumbled through an attempted rebuild around the guard, DeMar DeRozan and Nikola Vucevic. It isn't working. Lavine entered this season aware that the roster would be dismantled at some point if that central trio couldn't right the ship. But for the Bulls, the certainty of an impending change only creates more questions. Who will stay? Who's worth trading? And is this the end of Lavine's tenure in Chicago? Since acquiring him in June 2017, the Bulls have spent 6+ seasons attempting to mold Lavine into a central star who could lift the team back into playoff contention annually. In some ways, he has delivered on that promise. He's a 2-time All-Star and the team's leading scorer. On his best nights, Lavine is undeniable, the type of quick-twitch playmaker who can transform any offense. But the playoff payoff hasn't followed. Lavine has participated in only 6 postseason games, 4 in the 2022 playoffs against the Milwaukee Bucks, then a demoralizing crash landing from last season's play-in tournament when Lavine went scoreless in the fourth quarter of a collapse against the Miami Heat. The Bulls have remained intent in their focus on Lavine, signing him to a 5-year, $215 million maximum extension in July 2022. He remains their greatest feature, both on the court and as a trade asset, even as the Bulls struggle. But after a rough start this season, faith in the future of this project clearly is beginning to wane. Lavine kept his comments relatively brief Wednesday, voicing frustration with the team's subpar start. But he didn't express outright dissatisfaction with the Bulls or the front office. "I've been supported in Chicago for a long time," Lavine said. "I've been here for 7 years now and never not been supported. Love my time here in Chicago, always loved being a Bull, and that hasn't changed. Still, it's obvious Lavine and the Bulls are nearing a breaking point, a threshold the guard knew was fast approaching when he entered the season." Lavine spent Tuesday night sitting courtside at the United Center with his agent, Rich Paul, for the Champions Classic, which included 4 of the top college programs in the country and drew front office members from throughout the NBA. "That relationship will be critical as Lavine attempts to navigate his future. That's why I have representatives like Rich Paul," Lavine said. "If he speaks on my behalf, that's who I obviously have my camp with. They talk to Executive Vice President of Basketball Operations, Arturas Karnisovas, and them. My job is to go out here and play, simple as that." In the meantime, Lavine said he's not worried about how the locker room will handle growing chatter about a potential restructuring of the roster. "This is a business, man," Lavine said. "We've dealt with a lot more than people talking in the media. There's been a lot more than that. Obviously there was some news in the media. But we're grown men. We're a professional business. We know how to handle that, but that doesn't necessarily bode well for what's left on the court." In the preseason, Karnisovas said the team felt a lack of connection defined their losses last season. If the face of the franchise is ready to leave, the Bulls need to prepare for a massive shift in the coming months. And you fan, what do you think of the Zach Lavine situation? Leave your opinion in the comments.